60 days ago, I created a swamp ecosystem that had insane growth, new life, and became home to some strange creatures. But I don't want to spoil anything, so let's take a look at what happened, starting with day 1. To start off, we need the essentials: our tank, our light, and some aqua soil for our plants to grow in. This will provide tons of nutrients for the roots. Next up, for aesthetic purposes and to make this look more like a swamp, we're going to take some play sand and mix in some black sand to get a nice dark bottom. There we go, this is the color I was going for, and I think it looks great, so let's get it into the tank. After the sand is spread evenly across the bottom, it's time to add in our first plant. Since this plant is way longer than the tank itself, we're going to need to cut it and add weights on the bottom so they don't float to the top. Next up, we're going to build our centerpiece using Christmas moss. We're going to glue it to this piece of driftwood to hopefully look like a fallen down tree. The super glue won't kill the moss, it will just give it some assistance in grabbing hold of the driftwood. After we're all done, I really like how this centerpiece turned out. Now it's time to fill the tank with water. Unfortunately, I forgot to do one thing. I didn't rinse the sand before putting it in the tank, so I'm going to use a filter and some filter floss to remove a lot of the floating debris. The next day, the tank is still pretty cloudy, but it's better than it was, so we're going to add in our plants. The driftwood's going to go front and center. The water sprite we're just going to spread all throughout the tank so that it fills in all of the dead space. Next up, we have Vallisneria. This stuff spreads out and makes new plants, so I'm going to put it in the back and hopefully it will spread around the tank. After that, we're going to add in a small heater to make sure this tank stays warm. To continue making this tank look like a swamp, we're going to add in some Indian almond leaves across the bottom. These are very beneficial to aquatic life, providing spots to hide and tannins in the water that will make it tea-colored, mimicking their natural habitats. Now I'll squeeze a filter sponge from an old tank into this one to add beneficial bacteria. These bacteria eat ammonia, which is toxic to fish. Since this tank doesn't have ammonia yet, I'll add pure ammonium chloride to feed the bacteria and kickstart the nitrogen cycle, and then we'll let the tank sit for a few days. On day 5, the leaves have turned the water a brownish color, and we also got a package in the mail, 2 different floating plants. It's now time to remove our filter and add in the floating plants. Honestly, they don't seem very healthy, so I'm not sure they're going to make it, but we'll try. While I was filming, I noticed a small snail that must have hitchhiked on one of the plants, so to make sure he has enough oxygen, I'm going to add in a bubbler. Now I'm going to let the tank sit for a while. On day 25, the plant growth has exploded, and duckweed has taken over the top of the tank. All the other plants have grown a lot too, taking root and spreading out. Unfortunately, any good swamp has algae, and this tank is no exception. Thankfully, we have our snails to help clean up the mess. But if you look a little closer, you'll also see microfauna on the driftwood. These little bug-like creatures help break down waste and are part of any healthy ecosystem. Now that the tank is fully cycled, it's time to add in our 2 fish, Ronnie and Sid, and it just so happens that both of these guys love to eat microfauna. So after about 30 minutes of drip acclimation, it's time to add them into their new tank. Ronnie wastes no time coming out of the net and exploring his new mansion. Sid seems to be just as ready to get into his new home. Right away, Ronnie starts swimming some laps and getting familiar with his new territory. But Sid seems to be more interested with what's on the menu. But after a quick snack, he decides to swim around too, checking out his new home. This snail is cleaning up some of the moss when Sid comes over and decides to clean up him, getting some microfauna off of his shell. Ronnie seems to be the curious one, swimming around and exploring, even looking at the camera for a minute, but eventually his primal instincts take over. Sid can't help himself and eats another microfauna, filling up before bedtime. We'll check back in on Ronnie and Sid in about 10 days when their roommates arrive. On day 35, it's time to meet our superstars, Biff and Melvin. These guys are divas and wouldn't pose for the camera. After acclimation, we add Biff in first, and he sort of gets caught in the net, so I have to shake him a little bit to get him in. I decide to pour in Melvin so the transfer is much easier. Right away I learn that Biff is camera shy, and Melvin sleeps a lot. But after a good nap, he comes out to stretch his legs. I try over and over to get videos of Biff, but he keeps swimming away from the camera. I think maybe he just wants to show off his speed, because he does this. Melvin, on the other hand, is pretty slow and loves being on camera. Now we'll give these guys about 10 days to settle in. On day 45, our plants are looking super healthy, spreading out with tons of roots. I catch Biff trying to take a nap, but Sid comes over to interrupt. Then he tries to hide at the top of the tank, but Melvin can't help but be with his best friend. I think Biff's starting to get a little annoyed because he swims off, and Melvin keeps following him. I think Biff realizes he's like the older brother and just ends up taking the beating and hanging out with Melvin. On day 60, the snails have multiplied and there's tons of new plant growth. I catch Ronnie taking a bite of some microfauna. And Biff is chewing through the sand, trying to find something to eat. I decide it's time to feed everyone. I put in some brine shrimp, and Biff attacks it, clearly enjoying the treat. After a few big bites, he pushes it away, stuffed. Sid sees a few pieces floating and tries them out. I can tell he thoroughly enjoys the treat as well. Next up is Melvin, who wastes no time turning feral and eating the shrimp all at once. I think Melvin bit off a little more than he can chew though, seeming to be choking. Thankfully he ends up being fine, spitting it out, and then eating it again. Overall, I'm super excited with how this swamp ecosystem turned out. Thank you so much for watching, comment down below what you want to see me build in the future, and have a great day.